We're going to be talking about recurring exports and also SFTP servers and FTP exports because they kind of are variations on the same sort of theme and are often used in conjunction together. To get started, go to Settings, Export Data, and you'll see my lovely export tables here. Now, firstly, I can actually see that I have one recurring export already set up. We can see the frequency here of a daily export versus a one and done once type export, but I can also filter this using this section to see where I have my recurring exports set up. Now, if you're wanting to create a recurring export or get an understanding of it, anytime you create a brand new export, you have this section towards the bottom, which is a recurring export. Simply toggle this on. Tell Gecko how frequently you would like your export to run, as often as hourly or daily, weekly or monthly, where you get to choose the exact time of day that this runs and triggers. And you can choose to set an optional end date. So for example, if you know that so-and-so has asked for a particular report up until the end of January, you can automate it so that at this particular time, on this particular every single day, they're going to receive that copy up until here when Gecko will automatically shut this down. Now, for an SFTP server, they're often used in conjunction because for some types of integration, this is the best way of doing it. You could tell Gecko, we don't want to send an end date, we want this to happen every single day, and here's the location that I want to send this to. So here's what I'd like the file name of the export to be as it appears on the SFTP server. Here's my host name, username, and password to locate it, the port that we're using, but also the folder destination pathway that we're wanting to deposit this particular file in. Now, when it comes to actually stopping exports, it's actually worth pointing out really for the recurring exports that firstly, they can be edited at any point. Let's go back into our recurring export just here. And we can see, for example, although the name can't be changed, we can tweak who receives this. So if we have a new colleague and they decide, actually, it would be really useful if I got a copy of this too, we can add them in. If they're a non-Gecko user, we can still add them in, just hit save recipients and that'll all update for you. But so too, you can choose to tweak things. So if actually, this feels a bit redundant now, if we want to tidy up how this is labeled on the column on the export, you can choose to change that in real time. Again, just hit save export, and for your next time this export runs, all of that information will pull through. If you want to stop the export, one of two ways. Firstly, we can scroll. This is a very long export, but right to the bottom to the recurring section, and you have the ability here to manually stop the recurring export. But if you can't be bothered to do that, an easier way is actually from the exports table itself. If we scroll left to right to the far right hand side and click the actions button, we can choose to either run this now, download any files that are applicable, or stop recurring.